All right, so we were able to lean it out in a couple other places. Some other places are still kind of rich. Uh, Again, like I said, I'm not trying to go too heavy on this, just because that I do know that it's E60 and that the tables are kind of blending. There's a blending table here. So what I'm going to do is basically what we're going to do is we're going to set this up so that anything that's above 60% basically is just going to blend into the other table. I'll make a couple changes there, and that's going to be good for now. The car runs pretty good. Like I said, we didn't add any ignition timing whatsoever. So here are the dyno graphs. As you can see, the ones that say E85. So we've actually netted 5 or 6 horsepower or so compared to regular 93. So there's a little bit of horsepower there, as we all know, with E85, but is it anything crazy detrimental? Not really, not in my opinion. But again, we weren't really trying to shoot for power on this thing. We just wanted it to be able to deal with the new blended fuels that we have before. So tomorrow, what we'll do is we will dial in our cold starts, which everybody knows is a pain in the ass on E85. So I'll go ahead and I will make adjustments to the blending table here so that there's no interpolation. There will be interpolation, but only till E60, and then after that it'll just use one table, and that's fine for now until we can actually get, you know, E70-ish is kind of what we see here. Okay, so we are basically almost at the end here. We're going to do one more test and then we'll get this thing off the dyno. The current temperature is about 44 degrees, give or take. And the motor is cold. I don't have a way of showing that besides touching it, I guess. So, motor's cold. We're going to try to see if this thing will fire up on its own. Guess it works better if you hook up all the ground wires there. Not bad. So that is still E60. As you can see, it fired right up. So, heck yeah. So we'll basically, for what we're gonna do for now is just clean up the wires. We'll zip tie everything for now. Unfortunately, we've got actual work that needs to be done, so we'll have to get the car off the dyno and then drive it to our storage unit and put it up for a little bit until we can get back to it and get the quad throttle bodies back on it. So that is where we're at with this guy. It is cold as hell, guys. Well, I guess hell's not cold. It's like 40 degrees and the top is down because I can't put it up. But, oh my God, this thing runs so good. It's like the best this car's ever ran. So idle's a little bit on the high side, nothing that a little bit of tuning won't fix. Nope. But runs pretty smooth. There's a little bit of a small little hiccup here at cruising speed, 3,000 RPMs, 40 miles an hour in third. Definitely not the end of the world. Again, a little bit of tuning will fix that. So unfortunately, I can't see the wideband from here because my registration sticker that's completely out is out of the way here. But it shows that it's pretty lean from what I can see. So again, it's a little bit of cruise tuning that needs to be taken care of, a little bit of popping as well. So that tells me like it's probably out of sync or it's getting trigger errors. So it's warmed back up. It's completely warmed up, I think, and idles come down. So I think that's good there. So idle tuning is a little bit on the aggressive side, meaning that it idles a little bit high, but it came back down to idle. It's warmed up. And keep in mind, this is still on E60 right now. Brakes feel a little weird though. I just heard the cooling fan cycle on and off, so it has come up to op temp. Okay, so unfortunately, I did get to drive it one time before putting it up for the cold weather season, but it drove here totally fine. Need some more cruise tuning on E60, but overall it drove better than it's ever have since I've owned it. So I'm super stoked. Super stoked about it. So I just can't wait to do some more stuff. I think the brakes are kind of acting up, but it could also have been sitting. It didn't seem to have that problem. It's got to be something in the front because we didn't have any issues on the dyno, or it could just be from sitting for a while, you know. But overall, I am so happy that the car runs, and then we will get started on figuring out what the next step is and pricing and all the other stuff. And then once that's all sorted, then on my end, the only thing that we've got to do is set up the 4-barrel, or the 4 individual ones, and then go from there.